Bonjour Enough. Hello Year 9. So what I'm going to do is just talk you through your task for this week. So what you're going to be doing actually is using the interactive textbook on ActiveLearn. So before you've just been doing tasks that were set on ActiveLearn, but now you're actually going to look at the textbook. So to do this, what you need to do, there's a little YouTube video here to help you as well on your task, as well as this. You don't need to watch this one on here if you're watching this, if that makes sense. So what you need to do is log on to ActiveLearn. As soon as you've logged in, you're going to see this screen. Then you're going to go to this bit, so Studio AQA GCSE French. You're going to click on Open Book, and you're going to go for the higher Activebook. Okay, make sure you've got the higher one. That's really important. Then it's going to open out in a separate tab. So what you can do is you can see this box just there. What you're going to do is type in the page number. So if we go back and just check, you've got page 206. Okay, so we're going to go on page 206 here. There we go. So what I would like you to do for me is read through this. Again, you can do that easier because you can zoom in, so it's not going to be a strain on your eyes. So read through this text here. Then you're going to have a look at how it works and these little tables. Again, I want you to copy out the stuff that you think is going to be important or useful for you. So read through this stuff in the blue box and make notes on it, okay? So for example, with je, we know this or some of this already anyway. You know when you use tu, so that's okay. But if you want to type out or write out even the pronouns and what they are, just to remind you. Remember, elle is feminine and il is masculine for they. And again, maybe you need to remind yourself when you use vous and tu. That could be really useful. This part here, these three regular verbs. So basically, there's three types of verbs in French. ER, IR, and RE. Most of your verbs are going to be ER anyway. But in the present tense, if they are regular verbs, so they follow the rule, they're going to have the same ending. So if it's je and it's an ER verb, it's going to end in an E. So you're going to have taken the ER off and you're going to replace it with an E if it's je. If it's tu, you're going to take the ER off and you're going to replace it with ES. Okay, so it's the same for all of these ER verbs. Again, it's the same thing in practice for IR verbs. If it's je, you're going to take the IR off the end of the verb and you're going to replace it with IS. If it's tu, you're going to take the IR off, so the IR off finir, you're going to put IS. So that's the same for all IR verbs. And again, same thing for RE verbs. If you've got attendre, to wait or to wait for, you're going to get rid of the RE. That's your first step. If it's je, you're going to have j'attends and an S on the end. Okay, so no RE, you're going to put an S. For tu, you're not going to have an RE, you're going to have an S. For il est long, attendre, you've got no ending on the end, so that one's really easy. You don't even have to worry about that. Okay. Then we've got this thing about reflexive verbs. I know reflexive are really tricky, and there's more stuff on Bitesize that you're going to see in a second to help you with that too. So don't worry too much. But basically, all you need to do is put these in a second, but I'll go through that too. So for question number 1, I want you to make sure you're writing this out in full sentences, but you're going to put the right type of verb in this gap, okay? So you can see here for number 1, it's elle, right? So you're going to look at the verb in the brackets. You can see it's parler, so it ends in er. So what you're going to do is you're going to go right over to this table here. You can see, right, okay, it's an er verb because it's parler and it's got elle at the beginning. So you're going to come down, you're going to find, here is elle. So it's just going to be an E on the end. So it's going to be elle parle, spelled P-A-R-L-E, and then avec son papa. Please make sure you write out the full sentence with the correct verb. Don't just write the verb, okay? Again, if you can translate these sentences too, even better. Please do that. Then for your second one, what you need to do is choose the correct reflexive pronoun and add the verb ending for each sentence, then translate the sentence as well if you can. So for the first one, you can see you've got je. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is think, right, I know I'm using reflexives. You're going to look up to the reflexive verbs here. You know, after je, you've got me. So it's going to be je, me. Then you've got this here, dispute. So what are you going to put at the end? So you're going to go back up. You know, you've got me, you've got an e, it's dispute. Okay, so have a go at that. Again, remember, not all of them are going to be ER verbs though, so you're going to have to check. Right, so then what's going to happen is once you've gone through that, you're going to do number 3. If you want to copy out the whole text, you absolutely can do. Number 3 is definitely the trickiest exercise, okay? What you need to do is change the verbs in the brackets, but you don't have normal pronouns like you would. So it's not just going to be je, il, elle, etc. You're going to have things like le collège. So think about if you were going to replace le collège with something, you would in English it's going to be school, right? So if you were going to replace school with a pronoun, it wouldn't be they, would it? It wouldn't be I, yeah? It's going to be he, she, or it. So you're going to have either il or elle, right? And you know it's le collège. So you know le masculine is going to be il. So you would have, instead of IR, you're going to have IT. So le collège finit, IT, just here. Yeah? Again, later on, you've got quand Annie et ses amis quittaient l'école. Right, so quitter is an ER verb. You've got Annie et ses amis. If you were going to replace Annie and her friends with a pronoun, what would it be? It wouldn't be I if you were replacing Annie and her friends. It wouldn't be we if you were replacing Annie and her friends. It would be they, right? So it's going to be they. So you need to think, right, okay, it's an ER verb. What is the they ending going to be for ER verbs? So you're going to look back over here. You can see, right, the they ending is ENT. So you're going to end up writing QUITTENT. Okay, again, for this one, if you want to copy out the whole paragraph, you absolutely 100% can do. If you just want to do the verbs, you can. Yeah, it's up to you. And again, if you want to go even further and you want to translate this, amazing, please do that as well. That would be brilliant. Okay, right, the next thing you need to do then, once you've completed exercise 1, 2, and 3 from this book, is you've got some information on Bitesize. So we're going to go onto the Bitesize website now. So, as we do normally, page 1, what you're going to do is just have a look through. You're going to watch the video. And again, if you want to copy this down, you might have already done it, so that's fine. And then what I want you to do is answer these questions. Again, you can tick your own answers. Do not worry. If you're really struggling as well, you can cheat. That's fine. Again, this is really important with pronunciation. So have a listen to these, because that's really going to be useful for you. Then on page 2, again, I want you to watch the video, copy the avoir and être tables, and answer questions 1 to 4. So I'm going to show you these really quickly. Here we go. So this is the avoir table that I want you to make sure you copy. Oh, there's a video as well. So avoir table, I want you to make sure you copy. The être table, really important, please make sure you copy. And these things here are really important as well. Okay, so if you want to write those down, that would be really useful. And then you can answer these questions. You can do this on the Google Doc. Please make sure you do. You just need to choose the correct thing in the middle. If you want to write the full sentence as well, perfect. Please do that. Okay, then you've got to move on to page number 3 with irregular verbs. Irregular verbs are the worst type of verbs in French. You either have regular or irregular, but basically the irregular ones mean they do what they want, they don't follow a pattern, okay? So these are the ones you just have to learn, okay? There's no way to cheat, you just need to learn them. So you can make a note of these ones, that would be absolutely brilliant. What else do we need to do for here? Yeah, have a look at the tables, copy them, copy and paste them onto a Google Doc, and then again, you've just got your questions 1 to 4. Here, again, you can write the full sentence if you like, but again, you're going to see, right, so it's je, my verb is croire, so I'm going to go up. Let's see if I can find croire. Here we go. So we've got je, you know, you're going to have je croire. Okay, so that's going to be how you work these out, okay? Then we're going to move on to number 4. We've got reflexive verbs. So another thing here as well, again, it's just you remembering these bits that come in the middle, okay? So your reflexive pronouns, you just need to make sure you learn those too. Remember, reflexives are things you do to yourself, basically. So here they've used laver or se laver, sorry. So je me lave, I wash, because it's something you're doing to yourself. I wash myself, you can add if you want to. Tu te laves, you wash, it would be you wash yourself. And again, you can just go through these, then you've got the little translation at the bottom, which is nice as well. Good, and there's some more examples of reflexives too. Again, go through the vocab and copy down any useful bits of vocab that you're going to use. So, for example, these reflexive verbs are going to be useful. And this, copy it, but only if you haven't copied the one from Active Learn already. So if you've already got a thing with the reflexives on, that's fine. You only need the one. Okay. Then we're going to move on to page number 5. So page 5 is just loads of practice with these reflexive verbs. So these are the ones that are going to be in there, and you just need to work out what they're going to be, okay? So for je, and then you've got couche, you'll think, what's going to come in here? Remember, you've got the M with the apostrophe, the T with the apostrophe. That's if there's a vowel afterwards, okay? So remember that. Make sure you look out for vowel clashes, okay? Again, can you please make sure you do those questions on the Google Doc or on a piece of paper? Then this one's really important because there's some very, very good time indicators on here that I'd love if you copied out. I also want you to have a look at using depuis and see if you can put into your own words when you use it. If you can use depuis, it's really, really, really impressive, okay? Then you've got your questions here. You just need to reorder them so it makes sense as a sentence. So you're going to have, for example, it's going to be all right because you've got capitals anyway. So you're going to have j'habite, I live. And you're going to have en France, in France. Depuis, since or for. 5 mois, 5 months. Again, if you want to translate this stuff, brilliant, please do. Then once you've done that, there's not going to be like an extension video this time. I just want you to go on to the test. Ignore the video, that's not important. And then go through this test, answer the questions for me, and as usual, what I want you to do is once you've completed it, I'm going to randomly check some options, check score, 1 out of 10. Oh, that's a good guess. What I want you to do is just take a screenshot of this and then paste it onto your Google Doc, or just attach it separately. Okay, any questions? I know this is a bit more work than what you've been set usually, but we need to make sure we can kind of master our tenses, particularly the present tense. That's like the foundation of everything, okay? So make sure we can do this. Any questions, please send me an email or comment on Google Classroom. Okay then, year 9. Bonne chance!